Hello and welcome to the ShadowCast. The host Thomas Anderson and Abigail
Tech
Mowat.
Wizard,
Abigail Mowat.
and Abigail Mowat, indeed.
And Abigail Mowat, Tech Wizard.
That as well.
Miss Wizard,
How are
how are
you?
you?
I am fine. I am very tired, but I am okay.
Okay.
Because even though I've just had my October break, I had to work every single day on the coursework. And I think I've actually reached my breaking point. So if I go back in this week and they say, well, what have you done? And I show them and they're like, well, you need to have done more. I'm literally just going to walk out of that classroom.
It doesn't seem right. Because every single person is either not doing enough or it is like run to the breaking point from what you've told me. Which doesn't seem right at all.
I think it's more our personality types, because there are people on the course that are trying and there's people who are just not trying, and then people who are trying but failing and and succeeding.
Yeah, but it sounds as if the course work is too much because nobody is comfortable.
I think that I honestly don't understand how I honestly don't know if, like, I'm dyslexic and written work takes 3 times as long for me as it does for the average person. Reading and writing, it takes longer. I can belt out probably physical pieces of artwork a lot quicker than I can written pieces of work. So I honestly don't know if the drag in the written work is affecting everything else. But there are people genuinely doing a full-time job and are managing to just kind of get there. So I don't think I have much to complain about.
The problem that you have there is that what you've not taken into account, and clearly what they haven't either, is that extra time only counts if you don't bog the system.
What does that mean?
So if you have 2 pieces of work to do in 3 months, right?
Yeah.
And you get extra time to do them, that's fine. Say you're given a month to do one, you get an extra week. And then you're given a month to do another, you get an extra week. That fits. It doesn't work if you have 12 pieces to hand in and you get a week extra for each of them, but you still have to do it within 3 months. That's exactly 3 months. So you're not actually getting any extra time.
At the moment, we've got to write, like, synopsises every week on an art movement, but the problem is, like, they say, oh, it needs to be like 500 words. Mine are end up being about 2,000 words.
You need to speak to them about that then, because they either need to give you half as many, or they need to find a way to help you keep it to 500. They're not doing their jobs, and I'm saying that as a teacher. If you're doing that, they're not doing their job.
I just don't understand how it can be limited to 500, because that's impossible.
Well, you need to speak to them about it because you don't know how to do the work they're giving you, and that's their fault, not yours.
I don't get penalised for it.
No, but you are penalising yourself because you're spending 4 or 5 times as much time on it as you need to. Maybe at least 2 or 3. But you need to speak to somebody and say, can you help me? I keep writing 2,000 words and I'm running out of time on other pieces of work because of it. I need to find a way of keeping this down. Or, if you really like these, can we do half as many?
Because we've also got to be doing personal statements soon for uni.
So you're not going to be able to fit that in if you don't get a grip on this now. So you need to go and speak to them now.
Yeah.
It's pretty. I'm saying this as a teacher. This is my thing. You need to go and speak to them.
I think what was actually also kind of doing me in a little bit was this whole 14 days artwork thing, where you have to do an artwork every single day. That kind of took its toll on me a bit.
Did you do it?
There were some days where it failed I was spending about 10 hours on it and it just totally failed. So I had to do extra days to make up for it.
Right.
So effectively, my goal was to stop working on the Tuesday. As I spoke to you about that, It's like, I'm not doing any more work after Tuesday, and I had to keep doing it.
Yeah.
In fact, I've been doing work today as well. I've been doing written work because my computer kept crashing.
Huh?
Well, it was not so much crashing. It was slow as anything. Like it just kept doing not responding. We had to do that reboot, which took about 4 hours or whatever it was. Do you remember?
Yeah. Did that fix
and then my
anything?
internet, not really. And my internet kept crashing or slow. So everything was just, it's like trying to watch a pot boiling. It was driving me crazy.
There's something not right with the computer. It shouldn't be doing that.
Like genuinely, I would go to open up a file and it doesn't automatically open. It takes probably about half a minute.
We need to find out what it is that's filling your hard drive, because if you've taken all the games off and you've still got half a terabyte, there's a problem.
I don't know. But this is why I'm trying to get a laptop on top of this, because if I had a laptop purely for written work, that would make life so much easier.
Mm-hmm. A what, sorry?
Laptop.
What's that?
A laptop. Computer.
Say it again?
Laptop. Laptop.
Right. I sounded an awful lot like you said laptop.
Laptop.
As if it was a computer that sat on top of your, not your lab desk. Labrador, that's true. But your lab coat. Just hung off the front of the coat. You could just sit there, stand there, typing, walk down the corridor. I'm doing very busy work.
Anyway, so that has been my non-existent haul. And also, we took a trip up to Aberdeen.
Yeah, Aberdeen.
Did I talk about this last week? I honestly can't remember. Took a trip. I mean, me and some of my classmates took a day trip up to Aberdeen to go see the British Art Show 9. It was actually really good. I bought the book for it, which cost $16.99, and the spine is broken. It was a covered book as well. I'm very angry because I opened it and I just heard and the back of the spine has come away from the cover. I'm sad.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to let you do whatever it is you need to do.
I am so looking forward to Christmas, and I'm praying that they don't give us something to do over Christmas, because I need an actual break. I need a break where I'm not thinking about it for a full week. And you see, if they give us loads of stuff over Christmas, I'm just going to say to them, I need a break. I just need a break. I'm going to make a habit of having one day off a week.
Well, do you remember what I told you about when I was doing teacher training? I just said to the university, they give us some work to do, and I just said I'm not doing it, just because like you've given me too much. I can't get all that done. It's getting in the way of the actual practical essentials of teaching a class.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing it because I'm wasting all my time on this pointless work instead of doing the actual teaching. And they just said, yeah, it's fine. Because it wasn't a case of me saying I couldn't be bothered. I was saying, when I'm sitting down to do this, I'm finding it so difficult to do this written work that you've given me, because it was just fiddly. It was just fiddly. It was form filling, and it was fiddly, and it was taking up hours. And I just said, I'm not doing it. I'm spending 2 or 3 hours a night on this rather than planning lessons. I'm not doing it.
I think my problem is that I think I've got exceptionally high standards for myself. Because I spoke to this about with my lecture like the second week we were in. Anyway, that's not what everybody came here to listen about. People came here to listen about us playing games.
Nobody came here to listen to anything.
And how it took forever to update Halo when we went to go sit down and play it. Because every single time we go to sit down to play Halo, mine has to update.
You're a perfectionist.
Just mine. True, but not my Xbox, not my Wi-Fi connection. That is not a perfectionist.
Mm-hmm. It's bad.
It is diabolical.
Diabological.
We had to, basically, so today we were going to sit down to play Halo. Because we hadn't played it in forever, because somebody doesn't have it installed on his Xbox.
Who? Who is this evil one who must be punished?
So anyway, so we
Heretic.
sat down and I was like, yeah, we get to play it. And then I had to phone you up and go, it's updating. The game is updating a 37 point something patch. Gigabyte patch.
37 point...
6 or something like that update.
No. 29.
Okay, well, anyway, update. And on my slow internet, it said it was going to take 8.5 hours. Because even though I'm supposed to be getting minimum speed of like 37 megabytes per second, it went down to 1 and then it went down to kilobytes. So I had to scrounge my house for an Ethernet cable and connect my booster to the Xbox via an Ethernet cable, which did boost it for the most part.
There's a bit of a problem there, sorry. You either scoured your house or you scrounged up. You didn't scrounge your house.
Well, I don't know words.
It's one of... Just pick one. Did you scour your house?
I scoured the house.
Right.
To scrounge up an Ethernet cable.
Yes.
Which actually did help. It went up to roughly... It kind of stayed between 20 and 30, but it did keep dipping down to kilobytes and megabytes. So
it stabilized it a bit, but it demonstrated that the problem was not the wireless connection, really. It was the...
it was crazy.
It
just kept fluctuating
from the edge of the house.
It just kept wildly fluctuating.
Wildly functionating.
Yeah, so we eventually just played some GTA for a little bit.
Did you say it was wildly fluctuating?
Fluctuating.
Would you say that there was a capacity for this flux that could be measured?
At 88 miles an hour. I can never... Yeah, it's 88. I told you once I saw a real DeLorean. In real life.
It's not the Starship Enterprise. They did actually make DeLoreans.
Yeah, but they're so rare now.
Do you know where they made them?
Ireland.
Belfast, the same place they built the Titanic.
Should we move on? But yeah,
I think Belfast should move on from trying to build things.
So yeah, we played a couple of missions we hadn't played yet. So I just about every single mission's got a tick next to it now. Xbox.
No, what
GTA.
game? GTA.
I said GTA a few times.
I just wanted to clarify because you had been speaking a lot of Halo and then...
Yeah, and then I went on and I said we played some GTA for a bit.
Okay.
So just about every single mission's got a tick next to it now. So yay us.
Yay me.
Excuse me, I did help.
Yes, but you helped me to do missions for you.
No, you helped me to do missions to help you to help me do missions.
No.
Yes.
I've had enough of this. That's me force choking.
I was wondering what that was.
Because I've got a TV screen here, and that's all Darth Vader needs to start choking people.
Oh no.
I feel somewhat undermined.
Help me. Anyway. We played some GTA for a bit. And we had to go up against like a massive gang. And we kept dying. And I kept chucking grenades.
I don't remember.
It was the cement truck thing where we had to blow up cement trucks.
What was the one that we did before that?
We had to steal SUVs that were full of dynamite.
In a sewer.
That
was actually pretty fun. I got to drive through a sewer. Nice little.
That word doesn't sound right. Sewer. You know when you say a word and you swear it doesn't actually exist?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like it exists. It's just one of those words. Like it sounds like it's we're mispronouncing it.
Well, that's sewer is actually sewer. A sewer is actually an old Saxon word for a man named Sue.
I can't tell if you're joking or not.
Sewer. In werewolf, the were part means man.
That's it?
Yeah.
Man wolf.
Because the original words were wereman and wifeman.
Wifeman.
So a Whiffman was a woman.
Is that where we
And
get wife from?
it's also where we get woman. Because wife man became man. Became woman.
I'm just...
And whiff became wife.
It's just when you said that, it just reminded me of an episode of QI where they're talking about words that Shakespeare supposedly invented. And one of them was a French woman.
Yeah. Like, what? What? It turns out nobody had ever called someone a French woman before, so he got the word.
He got the acknowledgement for it. So yeah, some GTA was fun.
I wasn't finished.
Sorry.
Where man lost the where and it became man. But that's why referring to people like policeman is acceptable, or correct at least, whether it's a woman or a man, because it means man as in human race.
Oh.
That's why it's man and mankind and the race of man and human, because the male part was the where part, as in male.
Oh.
So it was where man and with man meant female man and male man. So that's where it
what
comes
about the
from.
milkman?
Aye, there's no assignation. No salutation from milkman. But maybe a milf man though. But where man and with man.
Mm.
So if you refer to a woman as a policeman, you're technically correct, because the word man means human, not male.
I didn't know that.
So man means both. Man means man, and all of us, man, the race of man.
That's interesting.
Mankind.
I am mankind.
Mm-hmm.
I've just noticed that my blind is down, and I honestly don't remember pulling it down.
Well, that's
a bit creepy.
That was me. I appeared behind you as a blind man, and I lowered the blinds. And then I turned into a were man and ran home.
That's like there's an old joke about a blind man and a bathing nun or something like that.
Wait, this is what the internet is for.
It's something like is it a woman's taking a bath, and she hears a knock on the door, and it's the blind man, and she goes, "Okay, come on in." And then he goes, and he's like, "Where do you want them?"
Okay, I've got you here. A nun was having a bath when one of the younger nuns walked in. "There's a blind man to see you," the younger nun said. The bathing nun thought a moment, decided that as the man was blind, she need not get dressed, and told the young woman to let him in. The man strode into the bathroom, looked at the naked nun, and said, "Great boobs, where would you like the blinds?"
That's an old joke, but a good joke.
But nowadays it would be considered unacceptable because it berates and belittles blind people, which it doesn't, but that's what they would say.
I don't know.
No, it don't not know. It doesn't.
I don't know.
No, it doesn't belittle blind people to think, blind man.
No, I don't know. I don't know if people complain about it. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Oh no, they would.
Okay.
Of course they would. They complain about everything.
I did take one day off. I did take one day off this week.
Mm-hmm. Was it to complain about blind people?
What are you tapping?
Oh, I'm scraping my desk. Sorry. It's very difficult for me to not do anything. The mic picks it all up apart from my voice, which is weirdly quiet.
On Monday, I unintentionally took most of the day off, and I tried to do some work in the evening, but my computer kept crashing. And I binged watched not only Squid Game, but also Midnight Mass.
You told me.
And I highly recommend both shows on Netflix. They are brilliant. If you liked The Haunting of Hill House and The Haunting of Bly Manor, you will like Midnight Mass.
I didn't.
It is a bit... It's not really a spoiler. It was incredibly predictable for me. I kind of guessed what was happening within the first two episodes. Squid Game was totally unpredictable. I had no idea what the heck was going on there. It's bizarre. What are you shaking your head at?
You.
Why?
Just want to. Makes me feel good inside.
But genuinely, if you have a nervous disposition, please do not watch Squid Game. What are you laughing
Do you want to try
at?
that one again?
If you have a nervous disposition.
Yeah, there we go.
What did I say? I said that.
It sounded a lot like you said deposition. Because
Nervous
you struggled with
that's
it a bit and you said
nervous
disposition? Disposition.
Nervous disposition.
Yeah, nervous disposition.
Yeah. Don't watch Squid Game. It is
Can
not
you
a
say
game about squids,
anti-disestablishmentarianism?
which is what I thought it was. Say it again.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Not quite. Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
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 You get so much further away. Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Anti-displatationism. Anti-displamism.
An acetylcholinesterase inhibitor.
An inhibitor.
An acetylcholinesterase inhibitor.
What?
Acetylcholinesterase inhibitor.
Acetylcholinesterase inhibitor.
Right, so the last word is inhibitor.
Inhibitor.
Right, so the first word is acetylcholinesterase.
Acetylcholinesterase?
Acetylcholine.
Acetylcholine.
Esterase.
Esterase inhibitor.
Yep, say that.
Nope. I've got a bad memory. It's part of being dyslexic. I can't remember long words like that very well.
So acetylcholinesterase inhibitors inhibit the function of acetylcholinesterase, which are there to break down acetylcholine.
Interesting.
Would you like to know one of the most famous acetylcholinesterase inhibitors?
No.
Okay.
Are you going to tell me anyway?
No, if you said no, I won't tell you.
Are you upset that you won't be... do you want to say what it is? If you want to say what it is, go for it.
No, you have to change your answer, otherwise I'm being mean.
Fine. Yes, I will. I would like to know.
Sarin
what
gas.
What?
Sarin gas.
What's sarin gas? And don't say gas, which is sarin.
It's a highly... I believe it was the last person accused of having sarin gas stockpiles was... Is it Bashad in Syria?
These names mean nothing to me.
It's a chemical weapon. It's illegal because you drop it and it blocks the function of acetylcholinesterase. In essence, acetylcholine is used to transmit signals from the brain.
Okay.
And
so it blocks them.
Basically what happens, it doesn't block it. What happens is acetylcholine is released at a synapse, so cells can communicate with each other.
Yeah.
So that basically, when you tense a muscle, that's you telling the cells to do that by a Twilight Bark type scenario, right?
Okay.
But when you notice how it doesn't stay tensed, you've got to keep it tensed. Because every time you tell it to, it releases acetylcholine, so the synapses, so the cells talk to each other until your arm tenses, right?
Okay.
But acetylcholinesterase comes along and breaks that down so that your arm isn't jammed, tensed. It just naturally untenses if you stop sending the signal. You don't have to send a signal to untense your arm. You just stop sending the tense signal.
Yeah.
Well, acetylcholinesterase inhibitors prevent the breakdown of acetylcholine, so once you send a signal, it jams on.
So what you're effectively, if you raised your arm would be raised in that position forevermore. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that would be a loose way of looking at it, but...
And so if you tense a muscle, the muscle will be tense. It won't relax.
Yeah, but think of that less
also,
skeletal, more smooth. Yeah.
That's scary.
And your heartbeat.
I don't want to think about this anymore. I want to go back to Squid Game. That made sense.
No,
it didn't.
We're moving on.
Okay.
I
What have you
played.
been playing? And stop touching your mic.
Sorry, I asked you to stop calling it my mic.
Did you?
Can we leave that one in?
Yeah.
You think that's innuendo-y enough?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically,
My thumbs look massive. Sorry.
you're just looking at your own thumbs in your own reflection. Yep. I'm a bit busy trying to... I was playing some Divinity Original Sin with my brother. We did 4 fights.
Did you win?
No, we had to restart the first fight because he ran off by himself.
Why?
Which is not the point. He's got the 2 mage characters, I've got the 2 melee characters. I go first, but he has a habit of just running off anyway. Second fight that we had to redo was because we were trying to put some people alive, and we didn't really understand the rules of escort because I think we've had to do it once before. We've never had to do an escort before. Oh, that sounds like a bad sentence, but so we didn't really understand the rules, and one of them got killed, but we used it as a learning experience and loaded it back up and tried that fight again, and we learned what to do. The next 2 fights we just did first time and it was fine. We've gotten pretty comfortable with the fighting system in the game.
That's good.
One story I will tell is that my brother, he stayed behind a set of traps that we found to like this little peak where there was some stuff to pick up.
Yeah.
So somebody had set down all these traps. There's a poison trap, a smoke trap with mines in it that exploded, and then a fireball trap.
What's a fireball trap? Is it just like one where just fireballs just...
Yes, something was spitting
you?
Fireballs out of the wall to hit the ground.
Oh, right, okay.
And I was trying to get up to a lever to turn them all off. And because I'm the tank, I take the damage, and I have 2 healing spells, I thought, right, I'll go for it. And I ran through and healed myself up as I went and got there. And I was picking up all the loot when my brother ran his character up, hit a switch that we couldn't see, summoned lava, and killed half the team.
Yay! That sounds like so much fun. Did you almost have a absolute fit at that?
No, I laughed because it was just running through
That's
the traps again. It wasn't doing a full battle again. We just ran. It was easy.
Well, that's good. At least you didn't have a go at him.
I suppressed the urge to reach through the Xbox Live and slap him in the face.
Good. He doesn't deserve that.
That's your opinion. One wee piece of story. There's been some news that GTA's Remastered Trilogy that includes GTA 3, GTA Vice City, and GTA San Andreas. And I think, if I'm being fair, that's ascending order of goodness. I do genuinely believe that, but I'm not as enamoured with 3, because I think I had to borrow it and I only played it once. And I think I'd already played Vice City by that point. So it wasn't...
I played 3?
Yes, that's the one you have played.
Is that the one with the mute character?
Yes.
Okay.
GTA Vice City for me was amazing. I've played that loads of times, but it is a bit fiddly at points, as is San Andreas, but that was my favourite. I do think they actually ascend in order of goodliness. But there's been some talk that they will be some rumours around the vernacular that the Xbox Series versions and PS5 will sell for 65 quid, and the ones for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 will cost 55 quid.
In terms of, like, it's annoying the fact that I think a lot of people are hoping that if you already own the games, like, they just charge you something smaller, update whatever for free or whatever it was.
It's nearly impossible to do that, though, because very few of those games are actually totally available, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, if I own a disc version, I can't prove that necessarily.
Yeah, I get that, but what I'm going to say is that for effectively 3 very, very good games, it's going to cost either 55 or 65. Was it 55 for the one and things like that, isn't it?
For the
Xbox
generation,
One.
For the most advanced generation, it's 65. For the one before, which is what we're still on, it's 55.
Yeah, so effectively 3 games for at most £65. That's not bad, as quite a lot of new games, like was it Red Dead, that sold for 60, wasn't it, when it came out?
Yeah, but what we do have to remember is that the development of these games should be a lot cheaper. Because if they use the same voice actors, they don't need to redo any of that. They've got the same story. They've got the same map setting. All they need to do is actually build it. And that's if they go for a full remake. If they only remaster it, this is easy. Easy, easy, easy.
But this is just a rumor, though. It's not an actual confirmation.
No, but my point, like GTA 5, I'm just going to look up. Right, give me a second to just look something up here, right? I'm just going to look up how much these games cost.
Okay.
Right, so GTA 5 is £12.50.
Is this currently?
No, that's 5, sorry. Sorry, that's 5. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 3.
Oh, well, Tommy looks up prices. How are you guys doing? You guys all right? How are you doing? Seen any good movies lately? Have you ventured into the cinema?
I hate to point out, there is nobody who can answer.
Leave me alone. Literally, just leave me alone. You're doing nothing. I'm trying to fill dead air. I've been to a restaurant a couple of times. It's been really nice.
It's weird. These GTA games are not available on Steam. I think they've been taken down.
Were they ever available on Steam?
I think so. I think they've taken them down because that's another part of the story they say here, is that Take-Two, who are releasing this, will be removing the previous releases from digital shops. So I think they've already done it.
Jeez, oh.
So if they charge £65,
people won't have a choice.
You have to pay for it.
I won't be.
No, I didn't expect them to go £65. That's just.
But then
ridiculous.
again, these are just rumors. Nothing's been confirmed.
Well, you won't be if it's 65. That's what we're talking about.
But I'm just trying to make sure that people get that it's not confirmed that's how much it's going to be.
Yes,
it's just the rumors.
These are the rumors around the particular.
One day you will say this without an accent.
These are the rumors around the particular.
These are rumors that are coming out that this is how much the games might be, but we have had rumors in the past.
It's one game that's made of 3 games.
I get that.
Sorry.
But then again, we have had rumors in the past of how much things like the latest, the Series X, Xbox Series X was going to be, what the PS5 was going to be, and it wasn't that. I think it was actually, was it less than what people were actually expecting it, or was it more? I can't actually remember.
I think it was less.
Yeah, so I think that sometimes maybe people, like, I've always got that feeling that people put out fake prices.
And then release it lower, so they don't have to go as low as they would otherwise.
It's like when how most people believe that the like Black Friday sales and things like that happen. They increase the price just before and then they drop it to the original price and people think it's a sale.
Which is illegal in this country. You can't advertise it as a sale if it's not a sale price. Yeah. You might get away with that in America, but you can't do it here.
I think some people still do it over here.
It is a crime. If you can prove it, they go to prison, they get their hands and feet removed. It's horrible.
They do not get their hands and feet removed.
Yeah, that's how they make the shepherd's pie.
I'm sorry, are you confusing reality with Sweeney Todd again?
I don't know anything about
One is set in Victorian England with a crazy barber and a crazy pie lady. The other one is reality, where you live and where I live and where everybody else lives.
I think the scariest part about that, Abigail, is that you might be right, but I've never seen or heard or read Sweeney Todd.
Yes, you have.
Nope, genuinely haven't.
You don't know the story of Sweeney Todd?
I mean, I can work it out, but no, I've never been.
You've never heard the story of Sweeney Todd? It's one of the most famous stories of all time in the Penny Dreadful.
Yeah,
and they've been made countless movies, countless TV shows.
I think you're missing the scary part of that.
Is that are you Sweeney Todd?
That I'm already there without having needed to be told the story.
Well, then again, there's been loads of other fairy tales and things like that about people being baked into pies. I mean, There's a
Hansel
Grimm's
and
fairy
Gretel.
tale, but I can't remember what it's about.
Hansel and Gretel.
No, Hansel and Gretel weren't baked into a pie.
Was she not trying to?
I think she was just going to try to roast them alive or something.
I think Hansel and Gretel.
Gretel was going to be kept as a slave. I remember that.
Yeah.
And she tried to fatten Hansel up.
Yeah, because of the patriarchy. Yeah, they keep the women alive and they kill off the man. Racist.
She was eventually going to kill Gretel as well, but she was fattening up Hansel first.
Still sexist.
Have you watched A Tale Dark and Grim yet on Netflix? That's also another show I've watched.
No.
Oh, it is so good. If you like Grim Fairy... This is like Grim... It's Grim Fairy Tales that's been rewritten. It was originally a book, and they rewrote the fairy tale. So like Hansel and Gretel are now prince and princess, but the stories that happen in the Grimm's fairy tales, a lot of them happen to them, and they rewrite it slightly, but they don't shy away from the grim side of it. Because you know how sometimes fairy tales make everything light and fluffy, you never really see anything? In this one, you kind of do see stuff, but they keep it silhouetted. It's very well done. I actually really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was going to be really stupid, really babyish, but it wasn't. It was very well done. Tommy, wake up.
Right.
What are your thoughts on the price of the game, if it is going to be this?
For that price, it can't just be an upgrade. It needs to be a remake. Because that's about the same price as the two Resident Evil full remakes, 2 and 3. They were full remakes from the ground up. Same story, same characters, same setting, but they've fully remade all of it. For that price, for those 3, yeah, it needs to be... I don't mind you keep the same story, and I don't mind you keep the same voice actors. I don't mind any of that. But you need to make it ground up when it comes to the actual coding. You can't just port that. It's not going to work. It's going to look ridiculous. It's not going to be worth 65 quid. It would be worth £6.50 if you did that.
Okay. Maybe that's what it's actually going to be and somebody misread it. Maybe somebody missed the decimal point.
I don't know how, because it would be £6.5.
Yeah, six.
Yeah, but there'd need to be a zero for it to make sense in money terms. So they'd either think the only way that would make sense is if they were selling it for 650.
No, if they missed the decimal point and they put the 5 before the point.
But then it would be £65.0. Nobody would write that.
But somebody may have seen that. That's a weird way to write it, and then just changed it.
Okay. I think that's several mistakes that don't make any sense.
Well, that's my brain. Welcome
Doesn't
to
make any
it.
sense and is
Welcome
mistakes.
to my brain world.
My brain's not a very nice place to be.
Your brain is full of spiders and grim. My brain is full of raindrops and snowdrops and rainbows.
and loot drops.
And empty boxes. Full of cake and chocolate.
Empty boxes full of cake and chocolate. Okay.
Right. Have anybody's ever seen this really old, obscure cartoon, which is, I think it's called Dreamland.
Super Ted.
I think it was made in the 40s or something like
Captain
this.
Scarlet.
No, it was a animated short. I used to think it was a movie, but it was actually it was just a animated short. I think it was made by Disney, and it's about like 2 little kids that are really, really poor. Their mom can't afford anything, and they have dreams where they kind of walk through dreamland, where they have like sweets and sweets, chocolate, beautiful clothes, lovely beds, all this kind of stuff, loads and loads of toys. That is basically my brain.
Yep. Your brain's from the 1940s.
Look up Dreamland and see if you can find it.
Your brain is from the 1940s, which explains why it doesn't work very well.
I'm going to look this up.
Way. I insulted you and you didn't even notice.
It's from 1936.
Oh my goodness.
And it's called Somewhere in Dreamland, and it's 9 minutes long. And it's called a film.
Have you ever seen a Serbian film?
No.
Don't.
I've now got the song stuck in my head.
Right,
Hold
we're
on, I'm
going
going
to
to show
get
you.
back on track. No, we're going to get back on track now, okay? We've told all the stories. What do you think about the price?
Like I said, I'm not entirely like for a game, I'm not that bothered. But for 3 games, I'm not that bothered.
So, yeah, but my point is it remake or remaster?
I think if it's it should be a remake for that price, like you say. And if it's a remaster, I think that may have just been a false thing that somebody's put out there, so that when the actual price comes out, it might be lower.
See if they remade those 3 games and put them all together. You don't even need to add any complicated mechanics. Just leave it as it was.
Yeah.
40 to 50. I think you're fine. I think that's fine. Remaster, 15 to 20.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd pay that for a remaster. I think I would. I'd be happy with that.
Because GTA 3 came out 20 years ago. San Andreas came out about 15 or 16 years ago.
Time flies when you're having fun and waiting for the next GTA.
I think the same. We were talking about that earlier on. GT5 remaster for the new generation. It's primarily being done as a bit of a cash-in, but also to keep GTA Online running.
Yeah.
Because they hit a cap with the 360 PS3 where they couldn't improve the game anymore. They had to move everything over to the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and it'll happen again. The only way you're safe is computer.
Yeah.
But if they do remaster it, the jump for me was when they included first person. Now, as we joked before, you can't include nth person. So what are they going to do? Well, it'll have to, like, one of the things we saw was that the wing mirrors and the rear view mirror in the car, they show like a sort of, you know, that cardboard with a metallic sheen on it that you'd always use in primary school to make things. Like if somebody was dressed up like a robot, this stuff was used for arms and legs and stuff like that.
Kind of. I don't fully remember it.
Well, could you imagine a robot outfit made of tinfoil?
Yes.
That's basically the reflective quality of the mirrors in the cars in GTA. They need to fix that. That's something they have to, if they're remaking it for that or remastering it for that, they have to put in better mirrors.
Yeah, because you were complaining about that earlier on.
And they, for me, they also need to change it so that a passenger can use a proper gun. Because a passenger is stuck using a one-handed weapon for no reason. They need to be able to use an assault rifle if they're in a passenger seat, because it doesn't make any sense. Why are you limited to a pistol when you've got 2 hands?
I don't know. It's really strange. So, is that all that you have for this evening?
That is.
Well, I will do my spiel to end, which is
spiel away.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. We really hope you enjoyed it. Sorry about my ranting at the beginning. I will try not do that in future.
Oh,
if you like what we heard, if you like what you heard and you'd like to hear more, you can always subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button for when we upload, hit that like button. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm, I think. Leave a comment down below. What are you doing? Leave a comment down below, or you can email us at overshadow.shadowcast@gmail.com. That'd be fantastic. All welcomes are comments. All comments are welcome.
That's me putting up with your rant from earlier on, which wasn't a rant. That's why I'm being humorous.
I felt like a rant.
No.
So
you were having a conversation.
Thank you so much for listening, and we hope you guys come back. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.